guys, welcome back to Scream Queen Stream. Y'all know me, I'm Jessica Cameron. Today I want to share with you the Q&A after the Fried Berry premiere at Cinequest. For those of you who don't know, my film A Bad Place premiered at Cinequest, which was sadly cut short this year due to the pandemic. I was so honored to be involved, and Cinequest is my favorite all-time festival. It's just amazing. The people who run it are amazing. Everyone involved is fantastic, and I always have a great time going to see the movies because they're just phenomenal. So I also got to spend some time with the filmmakers, both the director Ryan Krieger and also the producer James C. Williamson, and they were just really fun people. Their movie is crazy. It's insane. It's a trip onto itself. It's definitely the kind of film you don't want to watch if you want to be in a calm, clear mind. It's crazy, it's frenetic, it's extreme, it's fun. And I'm going to read the synopsis now. So, Barry is a drug-addled, abusive bastard who, after yet another bender, is abducted by aliens. Barry takes a back seat and an alien visitor assumes control of his body and takes for a joyride through Cape Town. What follows is an onslaught of drugs, sex, and violence as our alien tourist enters the weird and wonderful world of humankind. Fried Berry is based upon the short film of the same name, which earned 57 official selections and 12 wins at festivals around the world. It's also written by James Williamson. So I hope you guys really enjoy this. I had a great time at the festival. I was hoping to have these behind the scenes Q&As premiere with news about the second screening. However, unfortunately, it does look like due to the pandemic, Cinequest will not have their regularly scheduled summer edition. Instead, they're going to go online. So we wish them all the best. And here's a Q&A after Fried Berry.
So yeah, how did the film come about? Basically, Fried Berry started with a short film that was shot in 2017, and the short film gained a lot of traction. It got about 50 official selections, 13 awards around the world, and people kept on saying like, "Oh, you guys should turn this into a feature," which was strange because like it was this kind of short experimental thing, and then
we never ever planned to make a feature out of the short. It was never a thing.
Yeah, and then basically Ryan called me up one day, and then he was like, "I want to shoot a feature in a month from now." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That sounds rad. Can I read the script?" He's like, "Don't have a script."
Well, it was prior that and after the short. I always think it's an important thing for any filmmaker's journey to get to that point when you want to make a feature. A lot of filmmakers, we start off with either shooting music videos and short films, and it's that climb there. We're always struggling with budget, and we're always trying to make something. And so for me, even prior the short film at the time, me personally, I went through a really rough patch. I had something wrong with my kidney at one point. Had an operation, got sepsis, nearly died, lost my girlfriend at the time, and I just went down this rabbit hole, and it was just, never been depressed before, went into this dark place.
Makes for a hell of a movie though.
I just went into depression. I was in a really bad place, a really horrible place, and it just got to the point where I was done. And I just got to this point where I was like, what is the number one thing that I've always wanted to do, in my life, in my career, with everything? And it was always to make a film. And I've come close so many times to make a film, and then there's always something that happens and the budget falls through and the people are interested, and it just fades away. So when I got to this point, I got this idea, and I wrote a scene breakdown, which was about 3 or 4 days. I wrote a scene breakdown for about 50% of the movie. And at this time, I only actually knew James for 2 months, and we shot 2 experimental films together. And I had this idea, did the scene breakdown, which was very brief. It was literally like, Barry goes here, this happens, and Barry goes there. He goes into the supermarket, people try and fuck him, and it was literally as brief as that. And then I rang James, as we were saying, and I said, I want to make a movie, but I want to make it next month. And he was like, okay, we got a script. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, why do you want to shoot it next month? And I was like, because if we don't shoot it next month, it's never going to happen. So he was like, okay. I said, you either in or you out? And he's like, cool, I'm in. So literally a month later, we started shooting the movie. And it was just crazy. So the whole movie was all workshopped and improv on the day. So nobody knew what was going on apart from me and James. About 85% of the TP knew what was going on. So we shot it over a year and a half. So it was like plan, shoot, plan, shoot. And that's literally what it was. I wrote 6 pieces of dialogue for 6 actors, and the movie developed as we were going. And there were some characters that we didn't know were actually going to come back into it, like the prostitute who gave birth to baby Barry. And we're like, yeah, let's bring her back and let's have baby Barry. And so yeah, and it just developed. We kind of knew what the ending was going to be, but it just developed as we went.
Yeah, I mean the movie kind of revealed itself to us as we were shooting it, which made for like a really interesting and better picture. I don't know if I'd shoot another movie this way, but it was definitely a really amazing, fun experience.
And then what was the lead actor's journey? Can you tell me about that?
Well, okay. The thing is, so our lead actor, Gary Green, he's not an actor. So he's normally extra. Normally that's what he does normally. Over the years I've worked with him, put him in music videos and short films, but he's basically his crew's extra. And inside
He's a very famous extra.
Yeah,
inside.
not for the best, because there'll always be the scenes here, and there's 2 guys talking, and then Gary the extra is normally in the background. Meanwhile, we want him just to sit there and go and talk, but Gary's like this.
Or
And it's just like over the top.
Background, like,
Yeah. Directors are normally like, "What the fuck is this? Let's swap them out. Let's get rid of this guy and get somebody else." So, and the sad thing is with that is, I think some people, we judge people the way they look, and Gary, he's such a nice guy. He's so brilliant. He's so chilled and he's so quiet, and it was such a pleasure to work with him. And he gave us 120% every time we were filming, and I had to base the movie. This is why I made the movie the way it did, because I had to make it around Gary to make it work. And I needed him to have I needed a fresh page to work with him every single day, so he wouldn't overthink stuff.
And as Ryan has said, I think like every actor has like the one role that they are made for.
Yeah.
And I think you'll all agree, like Gary is Fried Barry.
All right, well, I'm going to open it up to the audience. Do any of the audience members have questions? Right there.
So this seems to be almost like a DIY guerrilla style filmmaking.
Yeah.
And here in the States, you have to get permits. Did you have to get there to shoot the scenes in the streets? Or
Yeah, we actually had permits for, I think it was about 99% of them.
It was 100%. It's interesting you say that because we really did try to emulate this like cult style, like we wanted this film to look like it was shot by like a bunch of crackheads in the 80s with like a VHS camera. And even though we did do everything above board and we followed all of the union rules, we still tried to make it look rough around the edges.
Mission accomplished.
All right, we've got time for a couple more questions. Right back there.
What was the inspiration behind kind of the techno-y house, kind of really upbeat, progressive music?
So actually, the guy who did the score, he's a pretty well-known DJ in South Africa. His name's Hazer, and he actually comes from a background in producing electro music. And when I was about 16, I used to go to the club and I used to dance to his music, and I would be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" and then I met Ryan, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, my mate Hazer's gonna do the music." And I was like, "What, really?" And yeah, the way he writes scores is just so.
Yeah, I think that's a big. I think it's such a big part of the movie, just the feel of it, and to have that music. But I think overall, like me personally as a filmmaker, I love 80s cinema. So there was a lot of stuff in this movie, like E.T. There was like references there. Or there was like Terminator in the club when he's walking through. There's a bunch of references from like 80s films that I love. growing up.
We have time for one more question, and then we can take the Q&A into the lobby. Does that sound okay to everybody? Yeah, wonderful. All right.
Jason.
Rob, you were going through your influences in there. Did I see David Lynch and a little Twin Peaks? In there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of like David Lynch or David Cronenberg. So like for me, it's like 80s cinema.
Yeah, I always said, the cardboard tunnel scene. That was just like our like Black Lodge,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, absolutely love Lynch, love Twin Peaks: The Return, and definitely felt a lot of that in there.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody, but we're out for time. Let's give the Friedberry.
We have posters for the film, which is signed by our crew, some of our crew, and Fried Barry. So we'll put them at the front, and you're more than welcome to take them. But
Thank you so much, guys.